box. You can buy it, but you don't have to subscribe. And then we're going to have mystery boxes.
We're gonna be going.
I hate to put his phone number in here right now, but
Okay. Okay. Hi everyone, Sarah here from the Paper Cut. I was just waiting for the ladies at Crazy Creations to finish up. We are going to be doing our shaker card craft along. So we have these two little shaker cards. So if you purchased the kit, get this one out, or it's probably already out ready to go. So we're going to go right down to the table so we can get started, because you know me, I'm probably a little bit ambitious as far as the projects that I plan. So first of all, I want to show you our show specials. The word thanks 20 is the coupon code. It's 15% off of all orders, but when you spend $50, it's 20% off. When you spend $100, it's 25% off. And that does exclude the class kits and the Craftalong kits. That's good. We're making it good for a whole week, so it's good through Black Friday, so through November 27th. So we're going to go right to our projects. We are going to start out with the circle one. So pull that one out, and you do have these pieces. Now in your kit, and then you also have these little accessory pieces and your foam tape. So in the kit, I did have a little note in there saying to color the circle tree ahead of time if you had time. So hopefully you did that. But if you didn't, just go ahead and color your little circle tree while I'm talking a little bit. So the product that I did use to cut, and don't lose your acetate that's in there, the product that I used to cut this scallop circle was this scallop circle die set. So it's two pieces, so it cuts this size circle and it also cuts the smaller circle. So that's what we used, and this is our red Miri lava. The pieces that we have right here are one of our circle layered card kits. So it's our scallop circle card, our green, gumdrop green circle layer, and then our white layer. I pre-stamped it with your happy holidays. And then the other piece that we have is our little Miri sparkle, which we're going to make sure that we attach that and then trim it before we attach it to our card. But we're going to start out and just make our little shaker piece. So we can set the card aside, and we're going to start out with our piece of acetate and our circle. We need to cut that acetate to the size of our circle. So I'm just going to use my scissors, and you do need adhesive and scissors, and then we did provide the foam tape. So if you have any questions about the project, please ask them while we're going. My mom is here with me. She's behind the camera again today, so we'll answer those questions. If there's specific product questions, we might answer those later, or I'll do the links later. So right now I'm just cutting my acetate to the size of the circle.
anybody there?
Anybody there? Hopefully you're seeing me.
Nobody's answering.
Nobody's answering.
Nobody's answering.
Okay, well, hang on one second. I'm going to go on the other side of the camera just to make sure, or I'm going to check on my phone to make sure we're on the right place. So color your circle if you haven't done that yet. Oh, there's comments there. Okay. Well, it looks like there's comments coming through. I don't know why my mom's not seeing them though. So, anyways, I'm going to try and watch those a little bit on my phone. So we have our acetate that we colored, or that we cut the size of the circle, and then we have our Miri lava. We are going to take and attach our acetate behind on the back of our Miri lava circle. So go ahead and do that. Just use a narrow adhesive so it's not sticking out if you can, and you're just going to go around your circle. And I'm just putting adhesive on there, and I am going to attach the acetate. So the acetate's kind of hard to see, but I am just attaching my acetate right over the top of my adhesive. So we have our, and I had used this with some alcohol ink, so I'm getting a little residual. Anyways, we have our acetate attached right to the front, right to the back of our scallop circle. So it makes a little window right there. We're going to turn that back over, and now we need to attach our foam tape. I'm cutting it in very narrow strips. You could cut this into probably 3 or 4 strips. And you're going to have to cut those a little bit smaller as you go. So this foam tape you can rip or you can cut, and you're just going to attach that all the way around your circle. Make sure it's attached all the way around. So you want it touching. No video showing. So you want that touching all the way. Oh, somebody said the video is showing, you just need to refresh it.
Okay.
Not us. Not us. The peeps. Anyways, usually we don't have this problem. So.
I wrote 2 messages. Can you see those? Hope you're having fun on this beautiful day.
So anyways, keep attaching your foam tape all the way around your circle. Make sure it's attached all the way around. So, and cut your foam tape a little bit smaller if you need to, because you want it fitted right there. I had showed the show specials at the beginning of the video, so if you're only seeing show specials, then yes, you might need to refresh. So right now, I do have...
You can see it on your sign.
So right now, I do have foam tape all the way around, and just 1 layer of foam tape. So we did use a fairly small glitter, or sometimes I use the chunky sugar from like my bulk food store. So you might have glitter, you might have the chunky sugar. If you use something that is deeper here, then sometimes you need to put 2 layers of foam tape. Now I'm going to caution a few things before we move on. I always take my foam tape off of here, or about the backing of my foam tape off, before I put my shaker stuff in there. When you're doing your shaker stuff, you want to do it from very close. So I actually prefer to have it on a spoon so I can just kind of set it right in there. So I'm going to take my backing off. I'm going to take a spoon, like a half a teaspoon of our shaky stuff. I'm going to put it right on top of there. And then I'm going to take my tree face down and put that right over the backing. After I do that, I'm going to take my finger and run it all the way around. Then you have just this little shaker unit, and then we can finish the rest of our card. So again, take your backing off. It's very important not to get any glitter or sugar or your shaker stuff on your foam tape, because then you won't get a good seal. So take your backings off. If you were to put your shaker stuff here first and then start peeling your backings off, then if you happen to touch it, you're just going to have a mess of glitter or shaker stuff. So that's why I always take my backing off first, but then be very careful not to touch the adhesive, because you don't want shaker stuff going everywhere. Okay, so I have my backing off and my adhesive, my glitter, or my foam tape. And yes, I like to take a spoon, because then you can just put a little bit on there. You can kind of touch it right to, and you don't want to put too much, because otherwise you won't be able to see your tree. And I probably gave you more than what you need. Now you don't want it in too big of a pile, so you might want to just spread that out a little bit. And again, not too much, otherwise you won't see your tree. I might have put a little bit too much in there. Then I'm going to take my image face down, because we're looking at the back right now. We're just going to set that right on our foam tape, and then we're going to give it a push all the way around. Are we seeing comments now? Nope, we're still not seeing comments. I know they're coming because we're seeing them on my phone, but they're a little bit delayed and they're tiny. So then we have our little shaker unit. So now that we're going to attach to the front of our card. So for our card assembly, I'm first going to put tape on the back of my Miri Sparkle strip. I'm going to put this piece down, and I apologize if we're not getting to comments, because they're not showing up on our computer and we're not sure why. But then you're just going to follow the circle. I do save my videos on YouTube too, so if you are more comfortable just kind of watching and doing later, they'll be saved on this page and it'll be saved on YouTube. So I have my layers here. I have my Miri Sparkle layer, and then I have my other circle layers. So I am going to attach those down. We usually don't have this problem. We can see comments, and my mom says hi to you all because she really likes hearing from you. So I'm not sure what the glitch is today that we're not seeing comments on the computer. Now I'm going to attach my little white layer. And then I'm going to attach my little shaker unit. Now when you put adhesive on the back of here, do it gingerly, because you do not want to push that in too hard. So just be careful when you're putting your adhesive on the back of there. And then you do have little gems, which I'm not going to go ahead and put the gems on. I'm going to go right to our other shaker one. But you do have little gems to put on to cover up our little holes here. These are like dotted circles. So, but the gems cover those up really nicely. Or you can poke them out and not put gems on them. So that's up to you. So that is our circle card. And that took us about halfway through our half an hour, which is good. So actually I might have timed it better than I thought. So I'm just going to set that one aside and I'll finish that one up later. And then we're going to talk about, so you can still be putting your gems on maybe while I'm talking a little bit. So then we have our A2 window overlay. This one we're going to do a little bit different. And you have two pieces of acetate in here because we make a see-through shaker card, but you also have two pieces of cream in there. And I'm going to show you why in a little bit, because some people may struggle with cutting the foam tape narrow enough, so I have an alternative. So we're going to start out, and this frame here was cut with this die. So again, very similar to the other one, where you have two sizes of scallop window frames. So you may or may not use both of these cream pieces. I'll show you in a little bit. I'm going to put my sample off to the front here. So we're going to start out with your bigger piece of acetate. So our bigger piece of acetate, and this window overlay is our fossil, and I pre-stamped that. So we're going to turn it over on the back, and we're going to put adhesive around your window. So adhesive around your window, and then we are going to attach our acetate. My mom's going between her little Surface thing and my computer, so I think she might be answering questions now.
Not yet.
Oh, not yet. So, anyways, you should have two pieces of acetate. I just grabbed the small one. You do want the bigger piece of acetate, and you're going to attach that behind the window. And this window, then you are going to attach onto your window card. So then you're going to put tape on the back all the way around. And you're going to attach it to your window. So you have your window plastic right here, and we have our window card, and this is our window overlay. So it gives it a slight border all the way around the outside of the card and around the window. Okay, so we have our window card and our window plastic is in there. Now we are going to take our little frame and we're going to attach our small piece of acetate onto that one. So go ahead and put adhesive around your window frame. I am using a 1/4 inch adhesive. If you have something that's wider, you may need to just take your finger and rub it to the inside. So if you get adhesive in here, you may have to take and just rub it to the inside if you used a wider adhesive. So we have our small piece of acetate and our frame, which is in our brochure craft. It's a really nice craft color, and we just attached the window frame there. So now this is going to end up going right here. And I just want to point something out. Now when you're putting your foam tape on here, I'm going to bring one that's doesn't have stamping on it. So when we are putting our foam tape on there, you want to cut your foam tape really narrow. So you can cut this even into like 5 strips because you want your foam tape to fit just on that lip of the green. This, you can see, does not extend too much past our fossil window. So you don't want your foam tape to go too far over this way, or you're gonna see it when you place that window on there. Now, if your fingers aren't not able to cut your foam tape and place it on that small of an area, I'm just gonna show you something and why I gave you an extra piece of cardstock. So if, when you're attaching this, and this is just a hypothetical, if when you're attaching it you don't want to use the narrow foam tape, or your fingers just can't work with it, you will see that foam tape on the inside. So in theory, my idea was that instead of attaching our inside right here, you could attach it right to the inside backing. So you could attach it like that, and then I gave you our extra piece for the inside of your card. So on my sample, I don't see any of the foam tape in here, and I just attached it on the inside of the card. However, if when you're putting your foam tape on and you just can't deal with the narrow foam tape and you see it on the inside, you could take your tree one and just attach it through the window like that. And then the other piece of cream you'll attach right here. So that is totally up to you, how you are more comfortable doing that. I just wanted to give an option for those that did not want to cut very narrow foam tape, or maybe your fingers just don't work that way. So we're going to go ahead with our project, and you are going to cut your foam tape, and again, you're going to cut it very narrow so it sits where I have my little dashes right here. So cut very narrow pieces of foam tape. And again, if your foam tape isn't narrow enough and it is extending beyond, you can always go with option 2 and attach your layering swatch right behind it. So you can attach your foam tape just from edge to edge all the way around your window. And you should be able to cut just narrow strips. But again, if you don't want to deal with the narrow strips, or your fingers just don't work that way, you can go with the other option. So you will have plenty of foam tape left.
Question is.
Oh, question. Now we're seeing questions because my mom's on her little Surface
But
Pro
I
instead of my
can't-
computer.
But I can't answer the questions,
Oh.
so I can like them. Is that real sugar or is that a product?
Oh, it's actually real sugar. We have a bulk food store that has a bazillion different cookie and cake decorations. And yeah, it works really nice for shaker cards. They do have like all kinds of the little sprinkles and stuff, but the sprinkles are a little bit too thick, and then you have to double stack your foam tape, which double stacking this narrow foam tape is very difficult. So that's why I went with the sugar. So then, and you can taste it. It really is real sugar. And we used a spoon to put it in there, so we didn't touch it at all, if you don't believe me. So anyways, now we have our acetate in the window, our very narrow foam tape, and I'm going to peel the backing off. Oh, this is my sugar from my bulk food store. Comes in a container like that. Now right here, you don't want this little gap, so I'm just going to push that over just a tiny bit. Now I do take my spoon. Again, I took my backing off. I'm going to take my spoon and I'm just going to put some sugar right in there, And then I am going to take the other side that has our acetate and our frame. Now you have the back of it, so the back of it has your acetate hanging over, and that's where your adhesive glued your acetate. And you're just going to set that right on top of there. Again, give it a push all the way around to make sure it's attached. So this one, you can put a little bit more sugar in there just because it's a little bit bigger window frame. So I put my shaky stuff in there, which for me is my sugar. And I have my acetate window frame. You want to make sure to put the back side, the side that has your acetate hanging over, down.
What kind of sugar, really? Regular sugar.
It's regular sugar. It's just a chunky sugar. So it just says silver crystals. So instead of being the little fine sugar that you get, it's just sugar crystals. So now I'm giving a little bit of push through there. And right now you're seeing, we have a see-through window card, so you're seeing my gray mat behind there. So, and then on the inside, because I used my narrow adhesive, you can't see my foam tape. So now I can put my inside layer on the back. But if you used wider foam tape here, like I said, that was totally up to you. If your fingers just don't work with that small stuff, you can go ahead and attach it to the back. It won't be see-through anymore all the way to the inside of the card, but you do cover up if your foam tape was showing. And then you can use this other piece for the inside. I'm just going to attach mine there, and I will have an extra piece of cardstock to use for whatever. I can always use extra cardstock, so now I'm just going to attach this on the inside. Let's see, are we getting down there in time? Oh, we have 3 minutes left. Okay, so I need to get a move on it. So I do need to color my tree, but now you can see the tree through there. We do have our brushed gold piece, and that's cut to size. So we can just attach that right on the front of the card. So we'll attach that right onto the front of the card. And then you do have extra foam tape, so you can attach that. You can use foam tape to pop up your oval, your jelly bean green oval, and your cream oval. And then you do have some red gems in there. And you can put your red gems all the way around your frame. So those are our 2 shaker cards for today. Let me just put our show special back here. This show special is going to be good all week long. And I did already add some of our, some stuff back on our sale page, because the discount will come off. It will work on all of our sale items. So I did add some things back in our sale page. I also added back some almost done card kits and some new almost done card kits. So make sure to see that. And then we'll probably have some other pop-up sales during the week. So just kind of watch for those. I know I've been a little bit absent lately on my Facebook page, but I'm going to get back to it. So we will see you hopefully soon in a class. Anyways, take care, happy Thanksgiving, and thanks for joining me today. Bye.